Hey guys, so today I am going to be doing a first impression review on the Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. This is limited edition and you can find it through Ulta. I got it on Ulta.com for $59 and I believe it's in the Ulta stores right now, and if it's not right now, it will be very, very soon. So here's a glimpse of what this beauty looks like. I'm so excited just because I really wanted the first one that came out. Wasn't able to get it. The second one didn't really wow me, and this one I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, and it is the perfect addition to my kind of bridal makeup kit. So to give you an idea, this is the box you're going to be looking for if you're looking in stores, and it's really interesting because it is, I mean, over twice as thick as the palette itself. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It kind of seems like a waste of packaging, but anyways, it is a very nice packaging. The packaging of the palette itself is very traditional to what other Lorac Pros and Mega Pros have been packaged in. It's kind of this, like, I don't know, smooth, plasticky, suede kind of feeling palette. And this one is white, so that's gonna kind of cause some problems when it comes to cleaning, just because if you know what these palettes are like, they're a little difficult to clean. They do get dirty pretty easily from the fallout, and it's just a little bit of a pain. So that's kind of a con when it comes to this. I'm like, white might have not been the best choice, but it does look pretty and sleek, and it has little rose gold accents with the lettering. When you open it up, it does have the little plastic on it. Again, here's the rose gold lettering. This is a little side note, but to show you just how soft these are, look at Sequoia. I just scraped it with the little plastic. That's a little crazy and sad. So here is a look at the whole palette itself. It's very beautiful and lots of neutral colors. So here I'm just going to swatch every single color on my arm to kind of show you what they look like in swatches. So this first clip is going to be of pink cream, tan, pecan, walnut, dusty mauve, violet gray, eggplant, and dark navy. The second set of swatches is crepe, toffee, mist, vintage, hickory, maple, bark, and jet black. And both of those rows of swatches are matte. This palette is very traditional to what all of the other Mega Pros are when it has 2 rows of matte and 2 rows of shimmer, or if you only have the regular Pros, those are 1 row of each. The third row of swatches is snow, kava, cider, Bellini, brown sugar, sequoia, glacier, and deep fog. The last set of swatches is Tule, I believe is how you say it, pink bronze, rust, rose quartz, olive, dark roast, pomegranate, and licorice. So let's talk about the shades themselves. I really like the shade selection in this. Of course, it's very subjective to the person you are, if you like warm or cool tones, if you like neutrals or not. So that's really kind of a personal opinion type thing. I really like that, like all the Lorac Pro palettes do, you have an assortment of the matte and shimmer shades, because this is very important when you are trying to complete a whole eye look. Typically, you don't want to use shimmer on every part of your eye because you usually want to bring some depth to the crease, so mattes are important. However, you don't always want to use all mattes because you like to bring a pop of shimmer in and some light to your eye. So it's very important that they have a nice mixture of not only shades, but of the types of formulations and how they come off on the eyelid. So I really appreciate that. I also appreciate that they're organized. So you have your 2 rows of mattes and you have your 2 rows of shimmer. This makes it very easy for someone to understand. And if you're just trying to reach for something, it makes it very easy to select versus them being all mixed together. I also really like that traditionally they kind of match. So for example, like toffee and pink bronze look very similar, except one is matte and one is shimmer. So I think that's kind of cool. The same with like jet black and licorice, deep fog, and dark navy. They're very similar, but they're just different in how they come off on the eye. As far as the pigment and the fallout, these do have a good amount of fallout. If you are using a fluffier blending brush, if you go in with your fluffy blending brush, it's going to kind of go all over the place. If you use a tighter packed one, not so much. There is a little bit of fallout when you put them on your eyelids, so just be careful of that. If you're using darker colors, I suggest doing your eyes first and then your face makeup, just so you're not going to mess it up. The feel of the eyeshadows is very soft. Lorac always has really nice, soft, textured eyeshadows, which, yes, it creates more fallout, and that can be a con, but a nice pro of this is that they're very blendable, and that is a wonderful thing to have when you are working on a lot of different people, or even yourself, and you got a stubborn dark eyeshadow that's not blending. That's not going to happen with these. These blend well every time. So really quickly, I wanted to compare this with the two Lorac Pro palettes I have. I only have Lorac Pro 1 and 2, so that's all I can compare it to. I don't have unzipped or anything like that. But I just wanted to show you side by side what they look like, so you kind of see the shade selection and if it's very different or similar. So on the top is the Lorac Pro, the original, and on bottom is the Lorac Mega Pro 3. So the original is very warm. This is a little cooler, the Lorac, the Mega Pro 3. The Lorac Pro 2 kind of has more similar shades as to the Mega Pro 3. As you can see, the Lorac Pro 2 is very cool toned, and so you get kind of similar shades that you have in the Mega Pro 3. I think the value you get for this palette is pretty good, although it's a little more expensive than other palettes out there, especially from holiday collections now that are coming out, and this is a part of one. I think the value is good if you just need to get one solid palette, because these eyeshadows are unlike any other. They just really are super blendable, very pretty. You don't need a lot at all to put on your eye to make your look pop, and so I think it's definitely worth the price point. Do you need this palette? Again, personal preference, but chances are if you have some or most, even one of the Lorac Pro line palettes and the Mega Pro and then the Unzipped and all of those, probably not. Especially if you have then some of the Urban Decay Naked palettes. There are so many neutral palettes out there that, do you need it? Not if you own some of those. If you don't though, this is a really good starting point because you do get a lot of variety here. You get some of the shimmers and the mattes and everything, and even little pops of color. Like I like Rust. Pomegranate is really pretty. Obviously that's kind of the standout shade in this palette. So if you like the bronzy, goldy, champagne-y, shimmery colors, you're gonna love this. But if you have 5 other palettes that have basically the same thing in it, then it's probably not something you need. If you're a collector, you're probably going to want to jump on this just because this is a limited edition holiday palette. Now, Lorac does have a lot of similar eyeshadows that are in this palette in their permanent line Pro palettes. So keep that in mind. If you missed out on this, chances are you can get it again in a permanent palette. Also, to give you guys a good reference, I am wearing the palette on my eyes today. I only use this palette. So here is kind of a look at what I have going on my eyes. To give you an idea, I am wearing, let's see, I started with tan in my crease as my blending shade. And then I went in with walnut, and that's kind of the darker shade. I used bark as my top liner. I used cider as my bottom liner, which is a really nice pop of gold. Kava's on my lid, and Tule is in the inner corner, as well as a little bit on the brow bone, mixed with pink cream is also on the brow bone. So do I really like this palette? I love it. I love the quality of it. I love the assortment of colors and the types of shadows, so matte and shimmery. And overall, I think it's a really nice purchase, and I'm going to get a lot of use out of it for 2017 bridal season. Now, it's totally up to you if you think you need or want this, but I hope this review was helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you agreed, and don't forget to comment and subscribe down below. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.